Have a great one, man. I'll talk to you soon. Yes, sir.
Let KBLA Talk 1580 power your advertising dollars. Our omni-channel custom marketing solutions are specifically tailored to connect with your ideal target audience. We leverage audio, podcasts, streaming, digital, social media, and local activations to get your message out to the Black community. Get in touch with our advertising team today at advertising at KBLA1580.com. That's advertising at KBLA1580.com. KBLA 1580. We've got you, Black. Hey, so I'm calling your show, cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door. Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hit his side of the story. So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, and I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the light.
Hit the like button, like it up, like it up, like it up. Welcome in. What up, everybody? Let's go. Everybody hit that like button. Let's get to it. Can I get everybody to hit that Cash App or the Super Chat? We need the support tonight. Let's go. Andy, we need something carbonated in here. 7 Up, something.
Soda?
Yeah.
Sexual tastes vary from person to person, but with the current pornography epidemic, as some call it, one has to wonder how exactly this may affect our desires and perception of sexuality. Moreover, how does it affect our sex lives? Pornography constitutes about 25% of all search engine requests and is the fourth most common reason people give for going on the internet. And while it may seem to simply facilitate an instinctual sexual response linked to millions of years of evolution, the truth is, pornography has dynamically changed over time, ultimately molding our tastes and desires. The not-so-shocking truth is that pornography has profound consequences for the brain and acts in many ways like a drug. With prolonged exposure, your tolerance is increased, and many often find themselves addicted. Though it's not a physical substance, it leads to the same general loss of control, the compulsiveness to seek out the activity despite negative consequences, and withdrawal when it goes away, much like that of gambling or running, for example. The issue is that continued exposure can cause long-term or even lifelong neuroplastic change in the brain. Dopamine is released as a reward whenever we accomplish something, whether it be eating to sustain life or sexual activity to produce future life. And this dopamine consolidates neural connections in order to drive us to perform the same activity in the future. In other words, it alters and forms the brain cells to motivate certain actions. It rewires your brain. The National Institutes of Health measure drug addictiveness by testing rats. The rat is trained to press a button in order to get a drug, and the harder it works indicates how addictive the substance is. It turns out that the more addictive a drug is, the more dopamine we see released. And while there is, unfortunately, no rat porn that we can give to them, we do know that dopamine is also released during sexual excitement, which pornography plays right into. The more time you spend doing it, the more dopamine gets released, which reinforces the behavior and makes you not only desire it in the future, but require it. And as you begin to imagine these images away from the computer or while having sex, they become reinforced. Furthermore, each orgasm releases even more dopamine, which consolidates the connections made during the session. It's a feedback loop that becomes harder to escape. And just like a drug, your tolerance for visual stimulation has now compounded, making it more difficult to be turned on by reality. Pornography addiction can often lead to finding your mate less attractive. The good news is, it doesn't have to be permanent. Usually when people understand the mechanism and realize it's affecting their relationships, they can stop. The brain is often described as a use it or lose it system because the neural connections you stimulate grow stronger and desire to be activated, while the ones you ignore become weakened. Much like your muscles, which, if sitting still all day, itch for activity, but after prolonged non-use, they become complacent. Luckily, because of this use it or lose it brain, the same neuroplastic system that proliferates these habits can also be used to acquire healthier ones. Got a burning question you want answered?
Well, hey, I'm not afraid of these type of topics. The voice of reason is going to talk about it. And I was recently having a conversation, and here's the thing about me, man. It's hard to have a conversation with me about relationships, and in this case, intimacy, physical intimacy, and I not be thinking about how to make it into a topic. So, of course, where the majority of my discussions are held is in my little watering hole at the cigar lounge. And hey, the topic comes up because I'm not hip to what's hot and new and popping and what everybody is into, because I'm off the radio, quiet as kept. I'm pretty isolated, right? And so the topic came up, regarding the rose. Yeesh. And I was like, well, what is a rose? What? And apparently, it's this new toy that women are really like vibing with. Like the toy replaces the boy. Like, we don't need the boy no more because we've got the super toy called the rose. And I was like, what? I mean, and basically, the women that were discussing the toy that replaces the boy it's so good that they don't really need us no more. So, of course, I started to connect the dots. I was like, well, is the toy affecting the woman's mind in much the same way, as porn is affecting the male mind? Because they say porn is a big deal with men. And I hate, and of course, there's some, some data that support, men, sexual addictions and porn and how it affects their intimate life. And, there's some data out there that supports it. But again, we're human beings. And yes, women are different than men, but I guarantee you, porn is affecting women, probably not in the same way, but it is affecting them. And then because we're always looking to villainize men, making men responsible for everything, we tend to not see how sometimes women are adversely affected by something similar. And in this case, the rose. There were several young ladies in there that basically said they can't, how do I say this? Get off. As a matter of fact, we should play Prince, Get Off. We should play Get Off. Anyway, yeah, I digress. My playlist is my co-host. But several women were saying, I can't get off on physical contact, i.e. penetration with a man, unless I got the rose. My rose must be on deck. And I was like, really? I mean, I was really blown away by it. And so I came up with tonight's topic, desensitized. The rose for women versus porn addiction for men. How has your sexual life become desensitized because of their overuse? Now, we already know, yes, sure, you can bring a toy into the fray, every now and again for a little added spice. Toys and porn should be like seasoning salt. See, Big Mama wasn't heavy-handed. You understand? She wasn't heavy-handed when she was cooking. Them big mamas who know how to take a pinch, just a little pinch of this, a little pinch of that. You'd be like, you didn't even measure that. I don't have to. I done this long enough to know, right? Just boom, little pinches, right? Seasoning accentuate the flavor. They're not there to dominate the flavor. The same could be said for the toys and porn and all of that. Can the overuse of the rose for women and the overuse of porn for men cause irreversible damage to your relationship's intimate life? 1-800-920-1580. I want to know your thoughts. Yes, we have deep conversations here on The Voice of Reason. We're not afraid to have them. Is internet pornography causing sexual dysfunctions in intimate relationships? If so, what are they? Are some women trying to replace physical intimacy with men by using their sex toy, i.e. the rose? Conversely, are some men trying to replace physical intimacy with women via their infatuation with porn? This is very interesting to me. I had a sister tell me today in this discussion, it's better than getting an STD. I said, whoa, a lot safer than that. 1-800-920-15. I'd like to know. I'd like to know what your thoughts are. What is pornography addiction? We know pornography can be addictive, but what are the effects, right? True or false? If you've developed a close relationship with your vibrator, you might find it difficult to reach orgasm without it. Oh, Lord, I know I'm calm, but I want to convey this in a way that resonates. Let me read that one again. True or false? If you've developed a close, intimate relationship with your vibrator, you might find it difficult to reach orgasm without it. Can the same be said about men who have this desire to watch porn? Do they need to watch porn while they're in the act with their woman in order to keep it cracking, in order to keep the interest going? You know, they say men are visual creatures. And there are some positions when you're making love to where you can't see it. You can't see what's going on, right? Should you be surrounded by mirrors so you can keep a physical image of what's happening? Oh, Lord, this is getting deep. This is getting deep. True or false? Desensitization is normal and nothing to be ashamed of. Many OBGYNs say. I want to know. I want to know. Don't be afraid to talk to me tonight. When I come forward, you know the voice of reason. It's going to the phone lines. I have so much more to break down on this topic. You already know what it is. It's Monday. We ready to cook?
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings will disappear.
Y'all in the chat room bugging out right now. Y'all got me tripping right now. Y'all got me tripping for sure. Y'all bugging out. No, seriously, I was in the lounge today and this is where my topic came from. I was just sitting in there after the show this morning and I was like, what? And apparently, this is a big deal. Fellas, is your flashlight your girl? Wow. Hey, the lounge be lit. I ain't even gonna lie. 1-800-920-1580. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Can we get everybody? Listen, I need everybody to show their support tonight. Please hit my Cash App. I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys would hit the Cash App. Show your love tonight. Please, please, please support the channel. Please, please, please support the channel. Support the channel. I would love that support. Moderators, please assemble. Please assemble. Put my Cash App or the Super Chat. Or the Super Chat in the chat room. Please support the channel. The channel needs your support. I know we're getting close to the end of the month. I know people are strapped. I know gas prices are going up. Please show your love. The likes are horrible for the amount of people that are in here, but I appreciate everybody who did hit the like. Please hit the like, 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 and call me. Call me. Call me, please call me. Michael McCree is the first on the Cash App. We appreciate it. You're the first to hit the Cash App. If I see it, I'm going to call it out. If I see it, I'm going to call it out. If I see it, I'm going to call it out. Please hit that Cash App. I'll call you out. No. Truemonger said I had the bubble guts. I do not. But I do have a stomach ache, and this happens from time to time. I ate something over the weekend, and I was just not like, wasn't right with me. Didn't sit right.
More. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Addiction to porn is real. Discussing this with us is clinical sexologist Dr. Robert Weiss, and joining us now is the founder of a community-based porn addiction recovery site, Alex Rhodes. Alex, thank you for being here. You heard us talking in the first segment about different viewpoints on, is it an addiction? Is it, how real is it? I want you to talk a little bit about porn and how you say it destroyed your life.
Sure. So internet porn, I first got a hold of it around the age of 11 or 12. I'm in that first generation of kids who grew up having, going through puberty and having access to high-speed digital porn online. And that's totally different from what our grandparents had with the Playboys and stuff. But digital porn, it's available anytime, anywhere, unlimited amounts. You could pirate it or get it for free. And it went from like an innocent curiosity about the female form to an out-of-control compulsion, really quick. And so when I was 13 or 14 years old, I think around 14, I actually injured myself going at it so vigorously, I guess. So, yeah, kind of embarrassing. Great thing to go on TV and talk about.
Sad.
Well, yeah, so you imagine you're running in your house and there's carpet and you just skid on your knees on the ground. You could actually do that to your genitals too if you use porn too much. So I made a vow. I'm not going to do this for 24 to 48 hours to allow my injuries to heal. And it had nothing to do with religious shame. I didn't really grow up religious. I had no moral issues with pornography. I still wouldn't consider myself to be anti-porn. I simply realized at that time I couldn't even not do it for a day to allow my injuries to heal. I realized at that point it was out of control.
Can I ask you, when did you get to a place where you were able to recover, so to speak?
So my story really was heavily rooted in porn. And for me, it was over 10 hours a day. I tried to quit dozens of times, hundreds of times. And really what happened was whenever I was old enough to enter into relationships and start trying to engage in sexual activity, I realized that I essentially conditioned my brain to prefer pixels over, people and partners. So when I went to go and start engaging in sexual relationships, I realized I wasn't able to maintain arousal because my brain was like, what is this, a person? You're essentially depersonalizing the person in front of you and imagining porn in your head to actually maintain arousal. So it really not only impacted my grades and my life and everything else, but it also impacted my...
What in the entire Sam hell is going on? But apparently it's a thing. Tonight's topic, desensitized. This is my angle. You might not be happy with it. Spiritually impoverished people need stimulation all the time. They need to be doing something. They need to feel good. They need the next level. Where there is spiritual wealth, there is contentment. Where there is emptiness, there is thirstiness. There is a striving. Even when you achieve a particular goal, you want more. Same applies to sex. Now, what's really deep about all of this, you know how we talk about how people are performative in relationships. They perform a particular character. The mask sends an image of something that most people are not, right? So then you begin to perform, the image that the mask has projected outward, right? But the same applies to sex. People are performative. What does that mean? At the end of the day, men and women only care about the end result when it comes to sex. This is why a lot of people don't consider a sexual session good or complete unless there is an orgasm. That's just what it is. For men, I need this monkey off my back. Women got the same mindset. Hey, what happened? I told you not to move, but this is what it is. It's performative, right? So what comes in handy? For men, the pressure is not there. while watching a video. Ooh, ooh. For women, the pressure is not there when he ain't there. This thing gonna hit the spot. I ain't gotta guide him to the spot. I know my spot. And I'm gonna put this thing on the spot, and within 120 seconds, or maybe longer, who knows, I'm gonna get what I'm after. Do you see how the give me culture even falls into sex? Sex is about connection, and it's a spiritually powerful tool for manifestation. Not just manifesting children, but manifesting dreams and goals. It is a manifester. You can give birth to many things using sex. Yes, this is true. This is true. I'm sorry to tell you, but it is. True or false, using a vibrator in the same position or at the same frequency or pressure every time you masturbate can make your brain and body used to that particular type of stimulation, thus desensitizing it to other types of touch. How can I know if I should move forward in my relationship with someone who has a history of pornography use? Is desensitization in sexual experience a neutral progression or a concerning issue in today's society? How does the constant exposure to explicit content affect our perception of intimacy and relationships? Wow. Can desensitization to sexual stimuli impact our ability to form genuine emotional connections? In what ways does desensitization through pornography or rose usage influence societal norms and expectations regarding sexuality? This is about to get deep. How does the normalization of extreme sexual behaviors in pornography contribute to desensitization among viewers? It's about to get interesting. When I come forward, the voice of reason, I'm going to the phone lines. People want to talk about it. Let's hear this national discussion up close and personal. Did I set it up right? Did I set it up right? Did I set it up? Come on, somebody send me the cash apps. Let's go. What buzz? Is there, Ashley, is there a buzz in the headphones? You guys let me know. Is there a buzz in the headphones? I'm talking loud as fuck. Oh, the toy. Vibrator games. Y'all know I'm wild as hell. I will come into the voice of reason and talk about any fucking thing. Y'all know that. Fuck it. Let's do it together. Turn on some porn. Turn on your little vibrator. Waterworks. Let's go. Let's go. Like I said, seasoning. It's okay for a little seasoning, but we can't do it every time. Not every time. But a little seasoning enhances the flavor. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there shouldn't be a flavor.
KBLA Talk 1580 is the fastest growing talk radio station in Southern California. Home to 50,000 watts and an audience reach of 12 million.
Which one you want?
KBLA Talk
Man, I'll take that.
You can take both.
Oh, okay, cool. Man, you done. Where'd you find these?
In the back over there. It's probably from one of the events that we had. You know what I'm saying? So when you said, I was like, I'm gonna go get it.
My brother.
It's warm though. That's the only thing. You don't care about it? Okay. You know we got ice in the freezer.
I just need a good burp. Oh, there it is. Woo, got him. Y'all scared to call in. We only got 2 callers. You know Sean is one of them. Y'all should call in, please. This is a national discussion. Do not be afraid to have this discussion. Y'all love the topic. Y'all love the topic. Everybody hit the like button. Please hit my Cash App. Moderators assemble. Moderators, please put my Cash App in there. Again, they're going to relaunch the Our TV network. We had a meeting. They're going to relaunch that thing in June. And all new episodes of The Situation Shift will go up in June. We had several meetings. All of those episodes have been edited. I'm just tired of them adding seasons. Like, the production team keep having meetings. We're going to go to season 3. And it's like, y'all act like I got all the time in the world, and I don't. And what you're not going to do is, and I had to talk to them today, like, what you're not going to do is take up the only time that I have on the weekend to myself and fucking have me do like 4 episodes in a day. I'm not gonna do it. So we need 4 episodes. Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. So that'll be 12 episodes. That we could knock out season 2 in 3 days. It's like, what's good? Identity withheld. What up? What up? What up? Everybody hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the share button. Support, support, support. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Show your love. This is the longest break I have, guys. I want to be able to shout people out for their contributions. Can you guys contribute to the channel? I'm calling you guys to contribute to the channel. Monday is our most active days when it comes to support from you guys. And that's because I do 2 shows. Today we had a very slow day on the Zoe Up Morning Show. Even though it was a fucking hilarious show, I need y'all to help us, support us. Hit that Cash App or hit that Super Chat. Drop a 5 spot if you can. If you have it, please do so. Support, support, support. We would appreciate it greatly. Like I said, if I see your name come across, I will shout you out. Suge Mac 510, what's mackin'? What's mackin'? Yeah, it was slow, but it was a funny ass show. Oh, me and Sarah going back and forth, that shit was hysterical. Oh, here comes Pretty Brown Mimi. Peace. Listen, brother, thank you.
What would you say are things that men need to be focusing in on when it's trying to select a woman for a long-term marriage partner?
Well, you want someone honest. That's really, really important. Someone who will do her best to tell the truth. And my wife swore she'd do that before we got married, and she has. Probably better than I have. And so that's a rock, man, at the bottom of things, you know. So and you can't underplay the role of sexual attraction. And that's a mysterious thing. And so that's crucial as far as I'm concerned, and can't be.
So I have a real question about that, Jordan Peterson, Dr. Peterson. So you mentioned pornography, and we do countless pieces of content to be able to help young men overcome that issue and provide tons of resources to help them support them. So what I've noticed that happens sometimes is because of years of watching pornography, the men's sexual attraction becomes warped. And so how can a man whose sexual attraction to women has become warped to the extreme ends due to so much consumption of pornography, how can that man go back to now being attracted to, more natural looking women, or more women that could be around their, their lives instead of the projected?
Well, deprivation is helpful. Yeah. So I think it's reasonable to assume that there's a novelty edge in pornography, like there is in so many quasi-addictive phenomena. And so it has to become, because novelty is a sexual kick, it has to stay novel, and that means that over time it's going to become more extreme. So that's not good. Well, so how do you resensitize yourself in some sense? Well, you stop. And then hopefully you recover. And then you deprive yourself of that outlet, let's say. And you might say, well, is that absolutely necessary? Maybe there's nothing wrong with pornography. It's like, well, I don't know, man. Like, have you ever really met a guy who is proud of that? Like, you know what I mean? That makes him feel like, I'm the guy, man. I'm watching pornography and getting off. It's like, what a man. I don't believe anyone feels that. And to me, maybe I'm wrong. And to me, that's an indication.
Very deep stuff tonight. Can we work together to overcome pornography and toys? How do we develop strong, intimate connections without them? Clearly, the usage of these toys affects our brain. See, we got to be very careful with the brain. I don't know where Sean went. Sean, call back 1-800-920-1580. We got to be very careful with the brain, because the brain creates patterns. And boy, if you introduce it to some kind of stimuli that can create a negative pattern, it may negatively affect your relationship. Very interesting stuff. We got Robbie from Los Angeles, California, LA in the building. Talk to us, Robbie.
What's happening? Listening to the question, and I remember being, I can't say addicted to porn, but it got to a problem where when I was intimate with a woman, I had to have porn on just to keep me going. Simply because it wasn't trying to get the nut off. It was like she was kind of boring. It does desensitize you. But it also puts you in a mind space where you want a little more debauchery. It has to be a little bit freakier.
So first off, orgasm is the term, but that's fine. Were you trying to recreate some of the scenes that you saw?
I was just, it wasn't even orgasm. It was just trying to really have a release. because I knew I wasn't going to achieve an orgasm with this individual, so I might as well just release.
Wow.
So it wasn't even recreating a scene. I mean, all the
Release orgasm, the same
weird
thing?
positions that they're in, that doesn't work. Not in the real world.
But wait,
There's
Robbie,
a couple of
wait, help me understand, because I thought release and orgasm for men were the same thing.
No.
No.
Not at
Okay,
all.
Robbie got levels to it. Okay, keep going, Robbie.
You can masturbate and just have a quick release. But if you're in an intimate act with someone, then you're going to have an orgasm.
Ah, I love the distinction. Keep going. Yes, keep going.
There's two different sensations. Even with the woman desynthesizing herself with the roles, pretty soon the control area is just so desynthesized that nothing happens. That's why some women like insertion with the toy, and some just like clitoral stimulation. After a while, it's just pretty much a dead organ. You know, they've blown it out so much where now that's where they're going for backdoor action, because now it's a different sensation.
What? This is just so. What you're saying is, once it gets routine, that's when you start experimenting.
That's when people start experimenting. I, on the other hand, I had to experiment in a different manner. I had to bring in another female, two other people, or doing it outside on the hood. My biggest kink was having sex on my hood in front of a police station.
Oh, so you wild. Okay. Wait. Hey, you wild.
3 times.
Yeah. So you out of control.
I was, but it's just a different kink. And the more we abstain from unnatural, that's the best way of saying it, unnatural stimuli, you heal. It's just like with men. Men, we forget that if we're masturbating too much, chronic masturbators are wondering why they can't sustain an erection unless they're masturbating. Well, the problem is you're bringing scar tissue to that unit. So once you stop, it's going to heal.
Once you leave yourself alone, once you break up with yourself, you need to quit yourself so you can heal. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, but it's scar tissue built up. I mean, I know you're going to do your research, though, and you'll see it's scar tissue built up. And that's what people fail to realize, that if you keep pulling and stretching this instrument, you're building up scar tissue. That's why whenever you go to a urologist, you say, hey, refrain from this type of activity for a week or two. Let the scar tissue heal.
Hey, Robbie, I cannot tell you how much I appreciated your call. Brother, you brought Los Angeles in the building, and you came in here swinging for the fences. Robbie, you can call in anytime, man. I appreciate the call, good brother.
Thank you, Zoe. No, you appreciate it. I'm glad to call in. I'm just grateful that the voice of reason is on the air, because you're dropping jewels, man. Bars.
I appreciate it, man. Night. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the VOR. If you want to participate in this national discussion, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We on fire tonight. All right, I have no callers. Get on the phone, y'all. He's in his drawers right now. Y'all stupid. I have callers. I don't have any callers. Can you guys call me right now? I need 3 callers. Can I get 3 callers? So what did he just say? What? I don't know. If y'all enjoying the content, please participate in some kind of way. Like, share, Cash App, Super Chat, or call. He a bold man. Call in, Attila. Don't be scared now. Hey, Pretty Brown Mimi. Call in, Zinga. Call in. Because I know y'all know women that have this sentiment. We need y'all perspective. The sentiment of I'm using this rose. I'm not dealing with nobody. And then also, I know women who prefer not to use any type of vibrator. She said, I ain't spilling my beans. Tapped in, said, I need a cigarette and I don't smoke. We need conversation. Don't. Oh, God, Attila. There go Attila. Out of all the topics, she don't want to talk tonight. Okay, Attila, it's fine. But don't front on me. Y'all should call in. We got Truemonger on deck. We got Truemonger on board. I thought I saw Ghetto Gourmet. We need Ghetto Gourmet in here. But y'all, don't forget, please continue to support the channel, okay? Please continue to hit the like button, hit the share button, and Cash App if you can. We're only asking for $5 per person. Can you show your love? Show your love to the Zoe Voice of Reason After Dark show. What in the fuck? If you're enjoying the content, you can support by hitting the super chat or Mr. Zoe's Cash App. Lyman 30. Hello, fam. This is a bit much right here. I'm sorry. You may have to lecture us this evening. Oh, that's a shame. That is a shame. Yeah. Don't be mad. I'm not trying to offend. Your shape is captivating. If I have to fall back, you need to press the fact that I'm open off your style. Girl, even when you talk, yeah. Here's this fire, your skin tone. What you sound like when you move. I don't wanna be patient. I don't want somebody else to scoop you. Be patient. If you feel me, girl, it's plain to see.
How porn affects women. I'm Dr. Trish Lee. I was asked to answer this question, so I'm going to give you a quick shout out about how porn is impacting women these days and why I talk primarily to men on this channel. Well, let's put it this way. Porn is not a man thing. It is a brain thing. We know that it impacts all brains, and actually there have been scientific studies done that show that women who watch pornography are impacted, their brain is impacted in the same way as men. But we also know that there have been 50 billion hits on just one or two porn sites this year, and it's actually probably more than that. It was 42 billion last year, and numbers aren't in for the year, but we know that consumption has just went through the roof because of the pandemic. So it's over 50 billion for sure. But what happens is there's a very small percentage of women who are consuming on those clicks. But what the science shows, of the women who are watching porn, their brains are being impacted in very much the same way, and unfortunately, most of them are moving towards a compulsive pornography habit. And so Brains are impacted in the same way. You get hooked, your brain becomes hijacked. Especially, we know the scientific studies show that of those women, most of them are between the ages of 18 and 34. So it's younger women that are being exposed because porn is being so normalized. And I'm here to tell you, even though we're normalizing it as a society, it is grabbing brains by the hold and hijacking those brains, taking those brains over and impacting them with poor memory, poor processing speed, actual shrinkage of your brain size. The connectivity and the networks in the brain are not working as well after your brain has been hijacked. So it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. So for all my sisters out there who are joining me on this channel, even though I'll mostly speak to the men because that's who is being impacted the most, everything I say goes for your brain too. Brains are being impacted, so you can follow all of the strategies. And I try to talk about
This is interesting. I'm glad I picked that clip because I wanted people to know it's not just men. But that is the narrative that is being pushed. So, would the same be true? Is the brain being impacted by overuse of the rose? Can they wait to get home? Are they using roses in the car? Maybe not while driving. But listen, people are impacted. You heard the young man in the previous clip say he couldn't even stop for a day after he injured himself. Tonight's topic. Listen, let's get even deeper. You know I got to do it. What am I about to do, Andy? Andy, what am I about to do? You know I got to do it. 2 years running. What am I about to do?
You're about to quote your favorite philosopher, Brother Jiddu Krishnamurti.
I love the way you said his first name, Brother Jiddu. I'm finna quote my homeboy Jiddu. What does Jiddu have to say about it, man? I'm about to tell you. Sex is a problem because it would seem that in the act, there is a complete absence of the self. In the moment, you are happy because there is the cessation of self-consciousness, of the me, the ego, and desiring more of it, more of the abnegation of the self, in which there is complete happiness through full fusion, integration. Naturally, it becomes all important. Isn't that so? Because it is something that gives me unadulterated joy, complete self-forgiveness, I want more and more of it. Now, why do I want more of it? Because everywhere else in my life, I am in conflict. In all our relationships with property, with people, with ideas, there is conflict, pain, struggle, misery. Naturally, you want more of it because it gives you happiness, while all the rest leads you to misery. So the problem is not sex, but how to be free from the self, the contaminated, oh goodness. You have tasted that state of being in which the self, i.e. the ego, is not, if only for a few seconds, if only for a day. So there is the constant longing for more of that self-free state until you resolve the whole content of that conflict. This one release of the self through sex will remain a hideous problem. Did you hear when I said earlier, spiritually empty or impoverished people need the orgasm? They need the release. He said, everywhere else in your life, you're a mess. You haven't forgiven your father. You haven't forgiven your mother. You're mad at your brother. You still hold a grudge against your ex. You don't like your job. Everything is in disarray. You hate yourself. You don't like your skin color. You don't like your race. You don't like your place in the world. You feel like you beat yourself up, but you do it all the time. Listen, everywhere else in your life, you are a mess. And the only place to get a moment of self-release is through the orgasm. And if you pick a partner who can't deliver on the outcome you desire, what you do? You overdose on the seasoning salt. Never mind, I'll do it. You never last more than 7 minutes. Just move on. I'll finish. And then for the men, he's strong while he watching a video. Strong like he was in his 20s. Strong, ready to do it. Ready to go the whole 9 yards. And I know it sounds funny, but it isn't. It's a serious problem. Sex has become a fetish. The word fetish, from its original etymological root, will tell us it means tool. Our partners have become tools for self-gratification. We want to escape who we are through the act, through the act of manifestation. Sex is an act of manifestation. People don't understand the spiritual connection between sexual partners. Man, if you have low self-esteem and a woman allows you into her, do you know you're going to transfer that energy? If you have low self-worth, if you don't like yourself, and vice versa, man, are y'all listening? What do you think trauma bonding is just psychological or energetic? You can trauma bond through sex. Listen, when I come forward, I'm going back to the phone lines. We got a sister on the line. We got to get her on the line. One of our favorites. We got brothers on the line, of course. 2 of our favorites. We appreciate it. Come on, it's about to go down. You did it.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. An agreement is being reached on the terms of former President Trump's bond posted to cover the New York civil fraud judgment that he's appealing. Attorneys for Trump and the New York Attorney General's office came to an agreement this week after Attorney General Letitia James, who is black, challenged the bond on questions about the financial ability of the underwriter to secure the bond. Trump is required to keep the $175 million in the bank account used for the bond in the agreement. The underwriter must have exclusive control of the account and cannot withdraw any funds from it. The company must also give a monthly statement to James with the balance of the account. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott is giving an update on Baltimore's violence reduction strategy. Scott, who was black, joined other city leaders and credited his program.
Pretty Brown Mimi, I love it. That's why you should call in, Pretty Brown. Pretty Brown don't be bullshitting. She said, let's talk about toys. Aren't we each other's toy? Pretty Brown, this your topic. This is your topic. My son is always tripping, man. I get off at 9. The kids always want something. Can I come through and get my stuff? Yes. You know, being a dad, that shit never stop. Then they grown. Mimi's behaving herself in the chat. She won't call in though.
Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity.
I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait?
Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and he still had to play child.
I'm just saying, like,
How is that right? Mama's baby, daddy's
Dad,
baby.
can I come to your house?
I was like, there's something wrong up there.
You get that look like,
I'm pregnant. Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with a bad touch routine. How does he maintain?
you get them the same look they give you. When you ask them, can you go to their house? They be like,
So William, reason and accountability. The voice of reason. How did your porn consumption escalate?
Once I had an iPhone, it was literally game over for me because I knew I could access it at any given time without anyone knowing. All I had to do was clear my search history. And so as that curiosity began growing with technology, it became, well, let me search this kind of video. I wonder if this video exists. And then I found more comfort in those things because I felt like I was learning how to be intimate with people. And then once I knew those keywords that I could search, it was hours of just searching different kinds of videos with these keywords in order to just feel that comfort all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What people would say traditional. And so small town in California, I do a lot of online content creating and just pouring my heart out to like encourage people.
Wow, I love that. How was it growing up with 9 siblings?
It was a lot, but it was, I used to hear people say it all the time, like when you're mad at one sibling, you just go to another. I didn't really think that was like a thing, but like now that I look back, like growing up, that was actually the case, you know what I mean? When my brother was getting like annoying, it was just like, okay, I'll go hang out with my sisters, you know what I mean?
You have built-in friendships right there.
Yeah, they come with it.
That's real cool. So speaking to why you're with us today, as you know, our mission statement at Fact and New Drug is to educate on the harmful effects of pornography using science, facts, and personal accounts. And that's where you come in with a personal account. So can we make that abrupt pivot? When was the first time you experienced the harmful effects of pornography?
I was probably actually about 10 when I first got introduced to pornography. So it was right off the bat, about 10 years old. At the time, it was magazines were really big, a thing. And then people also had the first generation iPods. iPods had just released video on their small screens. And I remember, so it was actually my brother who was really into porn at the time, and then just me being a curious 10-year-old took the iPod one day and watched it for the first time, and then it just opened this door to what I felt like was just a lifelong journey with pornography.
Wow. When you first saw pornography,
man, that's why you got to be careful, man. I'm one of them parents. I was on every. Let me see your phone. Let me see your browser history. I was all over everything. Let me see it. Give it to me. That's a whole nother discussion. However, I'm playing videos where you see women are negatively or adversely affected by pornography as well. And as I stated before coming forward and now having come full circle, the etymology of the word fetish, it's even worse. Fetish, a noun, material object, regarded with awe as having mysterious powers or being the representative of a deity that may be worshipped through it. 1610s. Fatiço, from Portuguese. Faticico, charm, sorcery, allurement. Noun, use of an adjective meaning artificial. What? The Portuguese adjective is from Latin, fatiscus, right? Or faticius, sorry. Made by art, artificial. To make, to do, to produce, to set, to put. From the French, it means artificial. Are you listening to this? Many of us have fake love, artificial connections, superficial connections, right? A connection in objective only. And when that gets old, which it usually does really quickly, we resort to the actual tools that we have. The tools of pornography or the tools of the toy. Because as Krishnamurti said, many of us are inwardly conflicted. In other words, spiritually impoverished, psychologically tortured. So sex becomes the only momentary release or escape from the tortured self. Gosh, 1-800-920-1580. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. You already know. Cali, Seoul, Denver, Colorado. Get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Y'all is gonna get in trouble. This is a good one. So first, I'd like to say that porno can absolutely be harmful to your mind and to your body, and it can also be utilized in a healthy way if you have a partner that is confident and curious. And if you're willing to communicate. A lot of women, I can say at least, have maybe not thought about different ways that they are stimulated. You have auditory stimulation, where you like to hear words. Those things can turn you on. Somebody says certain things. Some of us are visual, where, you want to see your partner do things to themselves or to you, or you visual, you want to see porno. And then you have the actual physical. And Zoe, you might have to help me on this because I don't know the statistics, but don't they say that sex is 80% mental and 20% physical?
Maybe even 90, maybe even 99%. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Okay, somewhere around there, right? So I absolutely used to love to watch a lot of porno. And I don't know why a lot of women are acting all shy tonight, don't want to call in and talk about it. I'm like, we can have this conversation without telling all of our business. And of course, people's imaginations can wander or whatever. I think that toys, porno, self-pleasure can keep you out of these streets. So it might behoove people to make up their mind. But
see, you bring up a great point. I didn't mean to interrupt, but you bring up a great point. That is where the rubber meets the road. Because your brain creates patterns. If you're dating your toy in anticipation of your boy finally showing up, you might be desensitized by the time he get there. What are your thoughts?
Absolutely. Been there, done that. And my partner knew that I liked toys, so he actually purchased me the rose. And I had to throw that thing away.
Hold on. Stop. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey! Hold on.
I've been really trying.
I'm trying to... You own one of them things?
Oh, I don't own it anymore. And I told him, I was like, this thing is the devil, and I don't believe in the devil, by the way, but if it was the devil, that might have been it. It was very overstimulating, even on its lowest power setting, so I couldn't fool with it. And I was like, I don't know what type of yoni folk got out there, but this thing right here, I don't get it. But I know that everybody is at a different level, right? So I'm not shaming anyone that uses it, loves it, whatever. But that wasn't the one for me. Now, Dion Cole did a stand-up comedy special, and he kept talking about Tracy's dog. And I said, what is this? And I looked it up, and I found Tracy's dog, and that's one of my happy places. That's one of my favorite toys.
Wait, what is it? What is it called?
Tracy's dog.
Tracy's dog. This, yes. Lord. Listen, man, you don't want to find that little box that every woman got somewhere in that bedroom hidden. You don't want to find that toy box, because you're going to find all types of things that you never thought existed. Hold on one second. This is for you. We're going to play this for Cali Soul. Hey! She got him screaming, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, man, it's going down at Cali Soul's crib. Hey! We had to play that. I'm sorry. We had to play.
You want to play some Marvin? You need to play Masochistic Beauty.
Who? Masochistic Beauty?
Masochistic Beauty. That is a Marvin Gaye song. And that one belongs with this topic because he's very auditorily stimulating in there. He's like dominating her.
Really?
And it's an amazing song. I don't know if y'all can play it on the air, though, because it's real live.
Okay, well, hold tight. Look, wait, let me ask you some questions, because this is getting deep. Men think they know their women sexually, but y'all hold back a tremendous... You guys are the iceberg of sex. Tell us the truth. Callie, you're the only sister that was brave enough to call in tonight. Are y'all the iceberg of sex? Do we only get the tip of... Or, well... You got, well, yes. Talk to me about it.
Yes, and yes. And do you want to know why?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, y'all sit down and don't be getting all up in your feelings.
Oh, here we go.
But one of the main reasons why is the ego in general, but specifically I'm talking about the male ego, can be so fragile.
And judgy.
So, like, if, again, like I said, if you have a partner that is curious and confident, we can dance because I can tell you what I like. I can tell you what I want you to say. And you'll do your best to apply those things. But when the ego gets in the way, y'all get to using all the things that you used on all the other ladies on this one person that's standing in front of you. But you ain't even present.
One thing I'm going to do, though, let me just say this. You got to tell me this early. You got to let me know. Because if we've been together 5-6 years and you just got comfortable and then you do something that you haven't done, I'm just going to be honest. My ego going to go right to, who taught you this? Where you learn this from?
Okay. that mentality needs to go, though, because it doesn't matter who taught us and whens and wheres and whys. What matters is I'm here with you right now, and I want to experience this with you.
Yes, keep going, Callie.
So can you just push through with me and let that thought come up and tell your ego to shut up and sit down?
I'm in 100% agreement.
Enjoy ourselves. And another thing, is that average is average for a reason. Average is like covering a wide variety of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we get into the topic of size can matter, because if we think about how things work, y'all are shaped like a mushroom at the tip. There's a little ring that goes around you, right? That's like a plunger when you put it in. So it's going to hit all the sides if it's girthy enough.
Man, this is Voice of Reason
Now,
after dark right here. Whoa, come on, Callie, keep cooking.
Okay. So there's a lot of people that don't necessarily know their preferences because they just haven't been tapped in while they're doing what they do. And that's okay. But if you're not girthy, that's okay too. You need to figure out how to utilize your scepter so that you can pleasure any woman. You're going to have to learn how to move around that, inner ring and the inner opening, because all of that is sensitive. It's not just the entrance, the hole itself that's sensitive. And going to the back, most of the time, for some women, that has nothing to do with us. That's for y'all. For us, the sensitivity is up in the front and all in the open and all around it. So when you think of the exercise,
So what position you talking about?
to remove a pit.
Hold on, Callie. Hold on. You going, you pardon the pun, you going really deep right now, but I feel like you need background music. I feel like something sexy should be, because we way off in the deep end this evening. I feel like something, Lord have mercy, Callie.
Oh, you playing masochistic beauty?
What is happening tonight? Ladies and gentlemen, when we come forward, we going back to Denver, Colorado, because the bravest woman in radio has showed up to share her thoughts on tonight's topic. Heavy stuff. Now, you guys see, I had to represent the male perspective. I had to represent the male perspective because a lot of men do feel that way.
Now, this right here,
what?
Top 5.
Oh, Andy said this right here, top 5. I had to represent the male perspective because a lot of men do feel that way. Very judgy. Again, everything about a woman is about creating a safe space. And a lot of times we lose our women. We'll lose a woman. And let me go deeper. I wrote a book called The Holographic Relationship, right? Holography means everything. Everything. It's right? Whole. Hollow, whole, right? Whole writing. If you can't make a woman comfortable at dinner, if you can't make a woman comfortable in your car, if you can't create a safe space in your home, if you can't create a safe space around your ex, if you can't create a safe space around your baby mama, all of this stuff matters in terms of her ability to trust you. And I know this from experience. You might be able to have a safe space in the crib with just you two. But if it's an awkward space with you and your ex, again, everything is holographic. The whole story is being factored in on a subconscious level. So if I wasn't comfortable in this environment, even though I'm comfortable in this environment, I still have the remnants or the vestiges of the environment I wasn't comfortable in. So now that uncomfort becomes holographic. Even in comfortable moments or in comfortable spaces, it is remembered where they weren't comfortable. So men have to understand that, especially in the intimate space, right? Because even though women are uncomfortable, they'll still fuck you. Excuse me. They'll still have sex with you, right? But it'll be tiered. It'll be levels. They won't go all the way in. They'll go to a certain point. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense? Can y'all hit that super chat or the Cash App? We only got $20 on the super chat. This. Man, Suge Mac, thank you, brother. Blood, this show is hella crazy. LOL, keep cooking. Thank you, Suge. You always support. I appreciate it. It's a vulnerability issue. That's why you should call in, Attila. You don't have to tell your personal story. The world. Truemonger, thank you.
Hi, welcome to Med Circle's It's All in Your Head podcast. I'm your host, Jackie Colbeth, and it's great to be with you. After experiencing my own mental health struggles, I know the power in sharing our stories. So today we're going to be talking about pornography addiction, but from a woman's perspective. Jessica Harris first discovered porn accidentally while online at a young age and later became addicted. She is now a writer, speaker, and the creator of Beggar's Daughter, an organization that helps women find freedom from porn addiction. She also released a memoir in 2016 titled Beggar's Daughter and just released her new book, Quenched. She is an inspiration to so many, and we are very excited she took time out of her busy schedule to chat with us. Jessica, welcome to It's All in Your Head. Jessica, welcome to It's All in Your Head podcast. Thank you for having me. You are very welcome. We're really excited to talk to you today. I think it is certainly helpful for the audience anytime we're talking to someone to, if you could give us some context maybe in what life was like before falling into your addiction. So I grew up in a very conservative family, a conservative Christian family. Yeah. And it was a very broken family too. So my dad was abusive and he left our family when I was in elementary school, first or second grade. He just packed up all of his stuff and left our house one day without telling anybody. And so we found out after school was over, and my mom went back to the house and discovered that all of his stuff was gone. So a broken family, and just we struggled a lot with emotion and with how to like cope through those sorts of things. The family I grew up in didn't necessarily support the idea of counseling and seeking out mental health. It was like, Jesus fixes everything, and so you have to try harder, and you have to just love God more. And I also grew up in the middle of what I call the True Love Waits movement, which is in conservative Christianity, we also call it the purity culture, where there was this, we don't talk about sex other than to say that you don't have it. And so that was kind of the framework and the groundwork for when I started to struggle with pornography. That's kind of the situation I was coming from, was a very strict religious setting in both my family and in my church, one that did not have open conversations about coping with things, about emotion, and definitely not about sex. So that's where I started from.
Wow. Almost has to be a little bit like a forbidden fruit almost in that type of environment. Whereas my parents sat me down and gave me the birds and the bees talk, pretty open, candid, maybe more candid than I wanted to be, but it never felt, I think because they sat me down, it never felt as much like, a forbidden fruit. But it sounds like that's definitely something in your environment that was there. Were you young when you watched your first porn? I'm kind of wondering,
Man, this is amazing. This is an amazing topic. How can we work together to overcome our over-reliance on porn and toys? Intimacy, man, is very difficult when you're inauthentic, right? When you're inauthentic, it's very difficult. Callie Soul, I'm going to come back to you, but it's going to be on the other side. Listen, I want you guys to get your thoughts together. The phone lines are absolutely bananas right now. When I come forward, I'm going straight callers. We're going to go back to Denver, Colorado. We're going to get Callie Soul's final thoughts. But then we got Jacksonville, Florida. We got Dallas, Texas. And then somebody's calling in right now. The phone lines are crazy. I want to talk to you all. Let's get it. Sorry, Haru, that was you who hung up. Broderick says somebody got to watch it. Oh, I get it. I see. I appreciate you guys for hitting that super chat. You took us to 58.99. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Really good show tonight.
Let's go.
LS Jefferson, thank you. Thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate it. Ashe. Ashe. Thank you. Ashe. Twenty seconds. Mm, mm, mm.
We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, distance. Darling, it appears to me that you could use a date tonight. A body that'll do you right. Tell me, am I qualified? Baby, I know it's hard to believe this body is good tonight. What on first class flight? My plane's parked. Don't you wanna come in for a ride? Yeah, the international lovers. Yes, that's right. Let me take you round the world.
Can you relate? You wake up in the morning feeling a deep sense of unease. You grab your phone and almost instinctively open a private browser window. The minutes turn into hours as you find yourself immersed in taboo content, unable to tear yourself away. Throughout the day, that guilt and shame linger, overshadowing your interactions and activities. Does this sound familiar? Today, we're going to shed light on the symptoms of porn addiction. Remember, you're not alone, and understanding these signs can help you navigate this challenging issue. With that said, here are 8 symptoms of porn addiction. Compulsive consumption. Do you find yourself constantly seeking out pornography, unable to resist the urge even when you know it's not healthy? It's like being trapped in a cycle where the need for porn consumes your thoughts and actions, overshadowing everything else. You feel that constant pull, always searching for that next fix to satisfy an insatiable craving. This impulsive need for porn, where it becomes the central focus of your thoughts and actions, is a key symptom of addiction. Research conducted by Dr. Valerie Voon, a neuroscientist and expert in compulsive behaviors, suggests that excessive pornography consumption can lead to changes in the brain, similar to other forms of addiction. Recognizing this pattern and acknowledging the control it has over your life is essential in seeking the support you need. Increased tolerance. Have you noticed that you need more and more explicit or extreme forms of pornography to experience the same level of excitement or satisfaction? It's as if your tolerance has increased, and what used to be enough no longer fulfills you. You find yourself constantly seeking out more graphic content, searching for novelty and intensity to feel any pleasure. Sociologist and author Dr. Gail Dines explains that continued exposure to pornography can desensitize the brain, requiring stronger stimuli to achieve the same level of arousal.
Man, everything should be taken in moderation. Y'all remember that old saying? Everything should be taken in moderation. Don't do too much of anything. I want the good stuff to last a little while. You understand? I don't want to add too much to it. Because the crazier it gets, the crazier it got to keep getting. Seem like that's your brain like, oh, we on this? Let's take it to the next level then. Andy?
I just want to know if, like, you know, going to the strip club adds to this conversation. Or is it just strictly porn?
It might. I know the strip club never did anything for me. Now, I love looking at beautiful women, especially if they sisters. I be like, what it, boy, God, you showing out, God. God, you tripping, boy. When God made them sisters, man, God just said, you know, I'm finna throw everything from my little seasoning chest. I'm finna put everything in here for the sisters. And for me, as a black man, I love looking at the sisters. But for me, I think it was an energetic thing for me. When I was younger, as an A&R person, you know, I would find myself, man, I was at Club Nicky's in Atlanta during Freaknik. And I saw a whole boxing match with strippers. And the energy of the place was anything could happen in here. We could die this evening. The strippers were serious. It was like, so the whole energy just threw me off. And, you know, like I said, it's never really done anything for me. Like, for me, intellect and what you're about and everything kind of, you know, kind of goes hand in hand, not just the physicality. That's just for me. But let me get Callie Soul in here. I want to get Callie Soul's final thought. Callie, what is your final thought on tonight's topic?
My final thought is be more communicative, be more open, less judgmental, and fellas, for the average woman, first 3 inches is our happy place. Anything past that, that's your happy place. So before you tend to yourself, and
yes,
you know, it'll take you further. It'll take you a lot further if you be more open and shut your ego up. You know, be willing to communicate, because that is a creative space. Sex is a creative space. There's this book called Prosperity Secrets of the Ages. And they have a full chapter that talks about the creative energy of sex. Your sexual organs are the seat of creativity.
Right.
So you've got to be intentional about what you're creating when you go into that space with your loved one, and be fully present. 10 toes down, 10 toes up, you know, have fun.
I love it. I love it. Callie Soul, you brought Denver, Colorado in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all I got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got Truemonger from Dallas, Texas. Let's get Truemonger in here right now. True Measy, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Man, it was a trip. I think couples can work through this stuff, man, if they, for one, don't take it too seriously.
have fun with it, and don't let it take over your life. Don't get consumed by it. Don't get controlled by it. Like I said, people do too much. No, they just do it out of convenience. It's easier than having company over or whatever. But at some point, you gotta know when to cut it out. You gotta realize when you're hooked on that stuff, because if you can't function without it, something's wrong. You know, it's 90% mental. If you always need a toy or an adult film to get you going, you might want to get some help about that. I said, man, well, we're all guilty of watching some form of it.
I'm guilty.
Participating in some form of it.
Right.
So there's no point in being judgmental about it, because we've all participated in some form of it.
But do you think men are judgmental of their woman's full sexual potential, their capability, their capacity? Do you think, woman, thou art loosed type sexuality? Do you think men are intimidated by that?
Yes, the children was all, yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree, 100%.
I mean, because we're all grown. We've all done stuff. With other people. We've all been recycled to a degree. So, yeah, we have experiences. Right. There's no point in tripping about it, unless it's like brings a negative effect to you, unless they do something that violates you. That's when it could be a problem. But you gotta learn how to have fun with this stuff and not do too much. Right. That's just my opinion. Because if you get hooked on it, yeah, it's gonna be a problem. Absolutely. Absolutely. I know women. I know women may not want to admit that they do this kind of stuff, but we know they do. We know we watch them. Me and ASMI used to go through like porn channels on the satellite just to read the titles and laugh. Because the after stuff was funny. It was very funny. So we just had fun with that stuff. We didn't take it too serious. We did what we did, and we didn't necessarily need to watch them. We just had fun with the stuff. Right. Well, you already know, man. Perspective. I mean, as long as you keep in perspective, you should be all right. But like I said, people like to do too much, and it's become the norm, and we need to reverse that. 100% agree. Truemonger, guess what you just did? Dallas in the building. Dallas, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we got sisters on the line. They want to talk about it. Jacksonville, Florida, and of course, Oxon Hill, Maryland. It's about to get deep. Great call, True. Great call, True Measy. Once white supremacy experienced the black hole, they have relentlessly, is that what it is? Strive to isolate the event horizon for the, what the that's why we should have had him on the phone. Thank you. Hey, no, good call, man, for sure. Y'all wild. You know, I like the way you guys appreciate each other too. You know, you guys, big each other up, cheerlead each other for the calls you guys make. And really, every one of you guys, when you call in, you do have something really. No, I got that horizon. I got it. It was just funny. But yeah, you guys always call in and deliver, brothers and sisters. And I just love the way horizon, right? I got it. The way you guys support each other is fucking amazing, man. Like I said, we built a community, like the Voice of Reason. It's a small community, but it's a thriving and a vibrant community. And if I haven't said it to each and every one of you, brother and sister alike, I just appreciate you. I'm thankful for you. I'm grateful for you. Just being able to interact with you guys are a part of my life's abundance. So I'm looking at the wrong screen. I should be looking here. I'm thankful. So
thankful and grateful for all of you guys. Thank you guys for showing up, and thank you guys for sharing the way that you do. I think so. I think it does elevate the conversation. It elevates the perspective. Did we lose somebody? No, we didn't. Okay, we're good.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign for KBLA Talk 1580. Free. Who doesn't love free? With Milo's rewards, you get to remember.
Yeah, Heru Ali is he's in another zone right now. Let me see if the Lakers are winning or losing. They're winning. I just told somebody that the Lakers will probably win today. Why? Because in numerology, 9 is the number of endings and beginnings. The Lakers have lost 9 straight to the Denver Nuggets. So I picked the Lakers today. They're going to lose the series.
Refusing assistance can be used as an affirmative defense in an eviction case. So check your application status now at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org.
Remember when the Patriots went 18-0 and lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl? 1-8 is 9. Ladies and gentlemen, my playlist is my co-host. One thing the voice of reason gonna do, I'm gonna make you think, but my playlist is gonna make you feel. Come on, you already know what I do. We have an amazing conversation going on tonight. How can we work together to overcome the adverse effects of pornography and toys? And brothers and sisters from all over the nation have been calling in and sharing their profound thoughts, and we want to continue in that flow right now. We have Mimi from Jacksonville, Florida. Mimi, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Talk to me.
Hey, Zoe. Hey, everyone.
Hey, how are you? What is the word? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. I want to piggyback on a couple of things. And Zinga said something about kink versus fetish. Trumonger said that people are doing too much. I personally like the idea of being each other's toy, being your partner's toy. I'm his toy, he's my toy, and we play with each other. And if we play very, very well, the desire for the artificial stuff will lessen. I mean, softcore is nice. According to Trumonger, it's dry humping, but it's stimulating to me. And the hardcore stuff is just not so much. So I like the idea of playing with each other, being each other's toy. I hope I didn't say anything that was not appropriate for terrestrial radio.
Well, every time you call in, you provoke Andy to respond. Andy, what are your thoughts?
I swear, Mimi be low-key capping, low-key, but it's all love. But what if it was LL Cool J in one of those hardcore videos?
Boop, boop, bop.
Oh, okay. He would never do that.
Hypothetically
Wrong. Hey.
Hypothetically, I mean, I don't know. No. I can't. No.
Why you always lying? Just keep it real, Mimi. It's all love. You can make an exception. One video.
Just, you know.
I like. Well, if he's more than 3 inches, maybe. Callie said 3 inches is nice, but okay.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Mimi. Hey, Jacksonville, Florida is in the building in a major way, I see. Lord have mercy. Can we get Stephanie from Oxon Hill, Maryland? Did I say it right? Get in here, Stephanie. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Oh my gosh. Tonight's topic is great. I like what the last caller said about playing with each other, your toys, because, you like your playmates. And that made me think about, are you a good playmate? You should play properly with someone. If you are, engaging, what goes in line with that. But anyway, of course, I had my thoughts. I wrote them down. So I would say one thing is that we need to get to know ourselves. Get to know yourself. You want to maybe ask yourself a few questions like, what do you like? Or who do you like?
Mm-hmm.
Or how do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
When do you like it? I think self-pleasure is necessary for sanity. Because I couldn't necessarily rely, I don't think I could do well relying on someone else to please me. Of course, that's great. But if I could not please myself, I think that I would be crazy out here. So
wait, you've just provoked Andy. He wants to say something. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah.
I appreciate your sentiments. I was just gonna say, for the sisters, I think they need to tap into that more so at a young age, right? Because I think, let's say, I was gonna say middle school going to high school, but high school going to college. Bump that, high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that women should have sex if you want to go ahead and wait until marriage or whatnot. I know that narrative is out there, but I agree that I do think that women at times, they should learn their body a little bit more, because I think they put that expectation on men, like we supposed to know everything, but every woman is different. So I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Stephanie. Finish your thought.
Well, Andy, I agree with him. I think that is a lot of pressure to put on a man. It's like, that is one of the questions I ask. How can someone else please you if you don't even know what you like? You can't even guide that person there. But let's just say, okay, you don't know what you like. That's fine. This is where we need a willingness to learn together. Just like playmates. You're open to what this person may want, and they should be open to what you want. And then that's why I said you should be with someone who you like, and you should be with someone who likes you.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds simple, but it actually took me a long time to learn who liked me, who really wanted me. And that does make a huge difference.
Right. Who's acting like they like you. Right. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Because, I'm sorry. I was going to say, because women are human, right? Women are human beings. And oftentimes, if their Geiger counter can't pick up the authenticity of the man, they still have desires and needs and things that they want to do. So they might do something, but still might not be the right person. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And some people are not even teachable or coachable. So if you're with someone who's not even willing to figure out what you like, it's going to die out eventually, that sexual connection.
Well, you know what?
There's some other...
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Oh, yeah, that was it. I mean, that was cool right there.
I was going to say, you brought what city in the building?
Oxon Hill, Maryland.
Come on, Stephanie. You got to call in more often. We appreciate you. Join the national discussion. Listen, this is the voice of reason. You know how I do. We start the conversation. We're not right about everything. We want you to finish it. We start it, you finish it. And people have been asking for a part 2. I might do a part 2. I don't know. Let me think about it, because there are different angles to, come from. But let me just say, men, and I learned this the hard way, like, we have to master creating safe spaces for women. I think we shut women down because we're barbaric in the intimacy act, right? We're goal oriented. Not to say that women aren't goal oriented too, but I think a lot of times, man, it's just about knocking it down, capturing, conquering. Sometimes it's really about creating a safe space. And I think, let me just say this, brothers, and I'm guilty of this, brothers, we cannot create a safe space for women if we lie to ourselves and her about anything about ourselves. Because in that sex act, I don't care, she's going to pick it up. The energy is transformed or transferred. She's going to pick up your lies. When I come forward, it'll be tomorrow, and we might do it again. Great topic, great show tonight. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Love each and every one of y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Yeah? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.